An equation is a little bit different than an expression. An equation is always going to have an equal sign. It's the root word of equation is equal, and that's what we're looking for today. So our goal in this is to isolate the variable, right? To isolate the variable, which means get the variable by itself. All right, so that's what we're going to look at. We're going to look at how to get the variable by itself and kind of move from there and kind of see what happens. All right, so now what we're going to look at is just basically some steps of how to look at it and see what goes on. All right, so first of all, just like we've been doing, on each side of the equation, what we're going to do is we're going to collect like terms. It's exactly what we've been doing in class with expressions. We're going to do the same thing here. All right. Then what we're going to use is we're going to use the word inverse. All right, we're going to use inverse operations. All right, so don't let the word bother you. All an inverse is going to be is something that gives us the identity. Remember, identity is what you get back. You get the exact same number back. So, for example, in addition, I want it to be 0. In subtraction, I want it to be 0. In multiplication, division, I want it to be 1. We'll talk more about that later, what that means. So when you see the word inverse, what is the inverse of addition? The inverse of addition is subtraction. All right? The inverse of subtraction is going to be addition. The inverse of multiplication, give you one wild guess what that's going to be. That's going to be division. And the inverse of division is going to be multiplication. And we can just go ahead and abbreviate that for now. All right. So what you'll hear me say a lot is inverse can mean, for us, for now, it sounds like we're talking about the opposite. The opposite of addition is subtraction. The opposite of subtraction is addition. But that's not what we want to think of. All right. Inverse is going to be something different. So the inverse of addition is subtraction. The inverse of subtraction is addition. Doesn't necessarily mean opposite. All right. So then what we're going to do is we're going to use the inverse operation. All right, we're going to get rid of addition and subtraction first. All right, then we're going to get rid of multiplication and division second. All right, so right now, just think to yourself like, I don't know what any of this stuff means. Don't worry about it. All this stuff right here is a way for you to go back and just say, if you get stuck, what do I need to do next? How am I supposed to start? What do I do next? All right. So don't get bothered by all these words. So basically, this is just a kind of a way to get us started.